My dear seekers of peace, today I invite you to journey inward with me as we explore one of the greatest lessons life offers us, the art of accepting what we cannot control. In this world filled with uncertainty, there are many things we wish to mold to our liking, to command, and to make predictable. Yet, much of our suffering arises not from what happens to us, but from our resistance to it. Have you ever tried to grasp a fistful of water? No matter how tightly you squeeze, it slips through your fingers, leaving you empty-handed. Control, my friends, is much like that water, elusive, transient, and beyond our grasp. And yet, we spend so much of our lives in pursuit of it. The Stoics, ancient seekers of wisdom, understood that true freedom comes not from controlling every aspect of life, but from understanding what is and what is not within our power. One of the great Stoics, Epictetus, once said, "Some things are in our control and others are not." He went on to teach that peace is found in focusing only on what we can influence, our thoughts, our actions, our choices. Everything else must be accepted as it is. You see, the secret lies in surrender, not the kind of surrender that means defeat, but the kind that brings peace. When you accept that the world is full of variables beyond your reach, you begin to let go of the constant struggle against life's natural flow. Think of the trees in a forest. When the fierce winds blow, the trees do not stand rigid, trying to resist the force. They sway with the wind, bending so they do not break. In their yielding, they find strength. We too must learn to bend when faced with life's storms. To resist reality is to fight a losing battle. For the world will always be filled with change, some of it joyful, some of it painful. There will be moments when those we love disappoint us, when our carefully made plans fall apart, or when the tides of life take an unexpected turn. It is in these moments that the practice of acceptance becomes our refuge. Consider a sailor at sea. He cannot control the wind or the waves. If a storm approaches, no amount of shouting or pleading will make the sea calm again. But the sailor does have power over his sails, over his decisions to steer and adapt. And so it is with us. The waves of life will rise and fall, but we have the ability to choose how we respond, how we adjust our sails. There was once a story of a farmer in a small village. One day, his horse ran away, and the neighbors came to sympathize, saying, "Such bad luck." The farmer simply replied, "Maybe." A few days later, the horse returned, bringing with it several wild horses. The neighbors came to congratulate him, exclaiming, "Such good fortune." The farmer once again replied, "Maybe." The following day, his son tried to ride one of the wild horses, and he fell, breaking his leg. Again, the neighbors came, saying, "What bad luck?" And the farmer simply said, "Maybe." Soon after, the army came to the village, drafting all the young men for war. But they left the farmer's son because of his injury. The neighbors said, "How fortunate," and the farmer, calm as ever, replied, "Maybe." This story teaches us a valuable lesson. What we perceive as good or bad is often just part of a larger picture that we cannot see. The farmer had no desire to control the circumstances, only to accept them as they came, understanding that events are neither inherently good nor bad, they simply are. To truly embrace acceptance, we must first come to terms with our own fears. Often, our desire for control is born out of fear, fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of loss. But dear friends, to live in fear is to deny ourselves the richness of life. The truth is, we cannot control what tomorrow will bring, but we can control how we meet tomorrow. We can meet it with grace, with resilience, with the understanding that no matter what happens, we have within us the strength to endure. When you let go of the need to control everything, you create space within yourself, a space where peace can dwell. You stop fighting against the waves and instead learn to ride them. You begin to understand that life, in all its unpredictability, is not something to be conquered, but something to be experienced fully, with an open heart. Acceptance does not mean resignation. It does not mean you do not strive or that you do not care. It means you recognize where your power lies and you choose to focus on what you can do rather than being consumed by what you cannot change. It means finding serenity in the midst of chaos and trusting that you are capable of weathering whatever comes your way. My dear friends, as you walk the path of life, remember this simple truth. You cannot control the wind, but you can always adjust your sails. Embrace what is beyond your control, let it be, and focus on the beauty of your own choices, your own responses, your own journey. May you find peace in acceptance, and may you discover that in letting go of control, you gain something far greater: freedom, resilience, and true tranquility.